Any
This
reporting
conference
tools.
will now be recorded.
Okay.
Okay. And
Can we
can you
continue?
like at the last can we know like what is it like Snowflake environment and then SQL? I mean, is there any topic that you can describe on that at least in one class?
Um, no, Banu. Actually,
Oh, okay, okay, that should be perfect. Yeah, let's go.
okay, okay. So the first of all, okay. So first we will continue with the like a data. Okay. First of all, we have to understand. So first, let me explain with the Tableau. So what is Tableau? So basically, Tableau is a data visualization tool. Tableau is data visualization tool. So data visualization tool in the sense like it is a graphical representation of the data. Graphical representation of the data. See, like it's like a visualization tool. Visualization tool in the sense whatever data we have. So we can able to convert our data into the graphical representation for easy analysis like a within single page or within single click. Okay, you can able to see the analysis data very understanding manner like a graphical representation. Okay, so Tableau is also one of the reporting tool. Okay, so in the market like a Power BI, ClickView, ClickSense, Yellowfin, so many tools are there. Okay, so Tableau is also one of the greatest visualization tool in the market. So first we need to understand data. What is data? Okay, let me show you that. So how exactly data will existed in the database side or table side as well. So data is nothing but a information. So basically whatever data is like, so some customers having like a sales data, financial data, like a CRM data, like like a mutual fund data, whatever it may be, but it is like a information. So how exactly they will store their data in the flat files or something. So in olden days or nowadays, okay, so basically they store their data in the table format. Okay. So table is nothing but a consist of columns and rows. So basically column wise and row wise information they are storing their data in the table format. Okay, let me explain. See, for example, if you want to store your data in the Excel, okay, you will follow the same procedure. Like so in the header side you can able to mention like a columns, customer ID and sales and entry. Customer ID 101. This is like a rows, actual information. 10 rupees, country, India. 102, sales 20, China. 103, like a 30, and like a USA. See, basically it's like a columns, and these are all the actual rows, and this is the actual information. So whatever database you have taken, whether it could be a Excel or whether it could be SQL, MySQL, anything, basically data stores in the form of columns and row information. So columns are two types basically. Columns are two types. One is the dimension, second one is measure. So we need to understand what is dimension and what is measure. So dimension is nothing but a non-aggregated field. Measure is nothing but a aggregated fields. See here, in our Excel file, we have a three fields. One is customer ID, second one is sales, and third one is the country. So how exactly we will identify which one is the dimension and which one is the measure. Based on our data type wise, we can able to differentiate, or we can able to classify the whether it could be a dimension or whether it could be a measure. Okay, see, data type in the sense whatever data we are going to be enter into that field. Like for example, customer ID is the one of the field. So in the field, I am entering the integers. So integer, how exactly we will say whether it is an integer or string, because it's like a numerical value. Okay. If you want to enter the numeric value, we have to define the integer data type. See, 101, it's like a integer, and 10, it is like a integer, like a numerical number. India, INDIA, it's like a character, it's like a string value.
Interesting.
See, basically, for example, if you have a date field, okay, it's also like a date, but it is
String.
like
Yeah,
a
that,
dimension.
yeah.
Okay, dimension. Okay, like for example, quantity 10.4. Okay, see, it is also integer, but it's like a decimal values. So these type of data types, like these type of values, we will enter into the fields. But which one is the dimension and which one is the measure? See, basically, non-aggregated field in the sense, if any one of the field having like a date related or a string related, so sometimes, even though if the field contains the integer values, okay, so these related fields we call it as a dimensions. So integers in the sense, like if it is like a discrete integers, okay? If it is a discrete integer, then we call it as a dimension. But what type of fields we will call it as a measures, like aggregated fields. If any one of the field contains like a integer or a float values, then we call it as a measures. But in dimension also we have a integer information, and measure also we have a integer information. So how exactly we will classify the integers? See, basically, if the measure integer in the sense, like it is like a continuous values process. Okay, if the integer maintain the continuous process, then we call it as a like a measure. Now look over here in our Excel file. See, customer ID also integer, sales also integer, but customer ID is a dimension, sales is nothing but a like a measure value. It is like a aggregated value. Like for example, I have a 101 customer ID. Again, I am going to maintain the one more record. Again, 101 customer ID. I will purchase one item, then the sales is 40 rupees. See, the customer ID is not changing at all, but my sales is changing because it's like a continuous process. It's like a discrete value customer ID. It's like a continuous process. So if I want to identify the how many customers are available in my store, how exactly we will see? Like just we will
No.
count the records. Okay, then we will count the records. Okay, so totally how many customers are there? Totally three customers are there. So if I want to identify the how much my sales, if I want to identify the how much is my sales, so if I count these records, okay, it will give the correct records. No, right? Only five records, because it is counting the records. Okay, but actually we need a how
Some of
much
myself.
is my sales. So then we have to apply the sum function. Then 130 rupees is my actual sales. Here 3. So even though if it is integer, okay, we need to understand whether it is a discrete integer or whether it is a continuous integer. If it is a continuous integer, then we call it as a measure. If it is a discrete integer, we call it as a dimension. Okay, so this is the way you can able to understand integer classifications. Is it clear?
Yes.
Okay. So columns are two types. So table is nothing but it consists of the columns and rows. So columns are two types, like a dimension and measures. But actually tables also two types. Okay. So basically the table also two types. One is the dimension, sorry, tables are two types. One is dimension table, second one is transaction table. Okay, so dimension table. See, basically, if the table contains primary keys along with attributes of the primary key, then we call it as a dimension table. Okay? But whereas in the transaction table, okay, if the table contains, okay, primary keys along with the measure values, then we called it as transaction table. So this is the way you have to identify the whether it is a dimension or transaction table. See here, let me create simple tables in the Excel file. So this is my transaction table. Okay, so how exactly I will say whether it is a transaction table? Because so it contains the primary keys along with the measure values. Okay, if any one of the table contains the measure value along with the primary keys, okay, so then we will call it as a transaction table. But how exactly looks like dimension table? Same. Okay, we have only like a
Primary key.
primary key along with the attributes. Attributes is nothing but a description of the primary keys, like a name, okay, like a where exactly he is living, okay, so what is his phone number, okay, so something like a to describe about the primary keys. That's it. Okay, job or something, anything. Okay, we can able to add the some, okay, like a city, Hyderabad, phone number 1234. Okay. John DC 431. Okay. In okay, see basically. See, this is my
Dimensions.
dimension table and this is my actually transaction table. So transaction tables contains the primary keys along with the measure value. But dimension table contains primary keys along with the attributes like a description of the primary keys. So this is the way you can able to understand, okay, which one is the dimension table and which one is the measure, transaction table. Okay, so basically these are all the two types of transaction tables. So but in real time now, so we have a different types of tables like a dimension table, transaction table, fact table. Okay, so uh, different types of names we have, but basically even fact table also we call it as a transaction table. Okay, but it depends on the situation, okay, and depends on the peoples are calling like a it's fact table, okay, and dimension. The next one is, so for any questions like tables and columns and
Okay.
different types of
I have like one question, like what is a flat format and then what is the flat table? Like you mentioned what is the flat type of what is the flat in that table?
flat.
Yeah. I mentioned in the starting like data has been stored in the flat format.
No, I didn't mention flat format. Hmm. Where
And if
exactly I mentioned the?
the data information in the flat files, you
Oh,
said it's a flat files.
oh, flat files. Like it's like a CSV files and the text files.
Okay, got it. Okay, yes, okay,
Okay. So basically, see, basically, uh, if the data is like a limited data, we can able to store our data in the flat files.
okay.
Flat files in the
Dot
sense like
CS.
a dot Excel file or dot CSV file or dot txt file. Okay, so these are all the like a flat files. We can able to store our data in the flat files, and same way we can able to store our data in the databases also. If we have a limited data, we will follow in the like a flat file information. Okay, the next thing is, see, so far just we understand the like a basics of the table and the basics of the table nature and field natures. So it is very important, even though in Tableau also, please remember these 2 points: dimension and measure. So in interview also they will ask you the what is the difference between the dimension and measure. So just dimension is nothing but a non-aggregated fields. So depends on the data type wise, we can able to classify our fields as a dimension or measures. Measure is nothing but a aggregated fields where we can able to aggregate our measure values. Okay, so here also based on the data type wise, we can able to classify it. Okay, if it is a integer continuous process or float values, then we call it as a measure. It is very important in the interview also. And to identify yourself, okay, so which one is a dimension and transaction, these things are very important. Okay, the next one is, if you want to create the table, or if you want to read the existing queries, or if you want to write something like a queries or something in the database side, like a any one of the database, like whether it could be MySQL, SQL Server, Oracle, anything, the classes are very important. Classes. So basically we have a 6 types of classes we have. There are 6 types of classes we have. One is select class, second one is from class, third one is where class, and fourth one is group by class, and the fifth one is having class, sixth one is sort order by class. Okay, so these are all the 6 classes we have. Wherever you go in any database, okay, irrespective of the database. So without these classes, you can't able to see any single query. Okay, so it's the very important. First thing is select a class. Okay, we will see practically. First of all, let me show you in the SQL Server. Okay, later I will explain you. Okay, so with practically, then you will understand it. Okay, let me show. So this is my like a my Microsoft SQL Server window. So here you can able to create the tables, or you can able to load the data from the like Excel files or outsourcing data files. You can able to do it. Okay, first of all, if you want to create your table in the SQL Server, first of all you need to create one project. Okay, you need to create one project. So project is nothing but just we are creating our place in our server. Just we need to create the project. Project is nothing but a like a database. Just we are creating our database. So in the database, we can able to create our tables. Okay, you can able to write the queries. Okay, or you can able to insert the values, or whatever you want, you can able to do it. Okay, just let me create one database here. See, this is the like a new query window. Here you can able to write the queries. Okay, if you want to create table, or if you want to create the database, or whatever you want, you can able to write it down here. And if you want to check the database list, just expand this option. So these are all my databases. Okay, so just like this, you are going to be create one more database here. Okay, if you want to create new database in the SQL server, just you have to follow the like a query format, like create database, then followed with the database name, like born. Okay, just execute the query. Okay, give me 1 minute. Okay, my daughter is asking something. Give me 1 minute. One. Sorry, one. Okay. See, now the command completed successfully. I created one database in my server. Okay, so just refresh your database list. Okay, now just to search for the Banu, whether it see here the Banu database created. The tables also is available. Look over here, table folder is available. So far there is no table at all, because just now we created the one database for the Banu. Now if you want to create a database, sorry, if you want to create the tables, okay, you can able to create it. Let me show you that how exactly we will create the tables in the Banu database. Create table, then followed with the table name, like a EMP table. So in the EMP table, I am going to enter some required field informations, like a EMP ID, employee ID, employee name, okay, and some like a state. See, the three fields I am going to be uh, created with the employee table. See, straight away you can able to create tables, and you can able to insert the values into the Excel file or CSV file or .txt file. So it will allows you to enter the values straight away. But whereas in the databases, okay, so it won't allow you straight away to enter the values, because without defining your data types, like for example, employee ID is a field, but what type of data you are going to be enter into the employee ID? Okay, you have to tell to the system. Okay, so I am going to be enter into the integer related data type. Okay, so employee ID, so I am going to be enter the varchar, like a string related information. String related information. Okay, so you have to use the varchar data type. How many characters you are going to be enter into the employee name? I am going to be enter the maximum 250 characters. So the state, so how many characters you are going to be enter into the state column? Like it is also like a varchar, like a string related field. So I can able to use the varchar data type, maximum 250 characters. Now just select your database, like in the drop down list. So my database name is like a Bonu, and I'm going to be create my employee table under the Bonu database. Then execute the see command completed successfully. Now refresh the database list here and go to the tables. See here, employee table created, right? Banu is
Yes.
clear.
Yes.
Now just to check the table structure. Okay, sorry. Just check the table structure, how exactly it existed. Select star from. Drag and drop your EMP table. Now execute the query. See, EMP ID, employee name and state. Okay, this is the my employee table structure. The fields like a metadata we created. Metadata, field names, column names, everything is synonymous. Okay, so everything is same only. Metadata or field names or column names. Okay, it depends on the situations wise we can able to change the names. Okay, column names or field names and employee ID. Okay, the next thing is we need to enter values into the table. So how to enter the values into the table? That is also you need to create one query. Okay, just insert into EMP table. So then you have to define the table structure like a employee ID is one field. Okay, employee name is second field and the state is the third field. Okay, so what you are going to be insert values I am going to be insert. Then enter the values. If it is integer, okay, no need to mention anything, just to straight away mention the integer values. If it is a string, you have to mention the values within the single quotes like a employee name ish, and state like Hyderabad. Employee name and state, the two fields are related to the string, so that's why I mention the values within the single quotation. But in the first value like an integer, so that's why I'm not mention anything here. Just execute the query. Sorry, just execute the query. See, one row is affected. Now if you want to check the table structure, okay, now already we written the table structure query, right? Select star from EMP table. Now execute it. See, one row is inserted in our table. Okay, clear, Banu?
Yeah, clear.
Okay. Same way you can able to insert the values. Okay. Same way you can able to insert it. Just to select the records, execute it. See, these are all the rows are affected, and now check the, see here, 101, 102, 103, 106. So records are inserted. Okay, so this is the way you can able to insert the values into the table. Okay, any questions so far, Banu?
No, no, I could.
Okay. See, basically, you can able to create the table or you can able to insert the values. But in real time, like for example, you are running one business, like whether it could be a pharmaceutical or whether it could be a normal sales or financial related, anything. Okay, so you have a multiple branches. One branch is located in Hyderabad, another one is located in Chennai. Some other branches are located in Mumbai or New Delhi, anything. Okay, so each branch wise, okay, so they will insert their values in the Excel file because they don't know like a database side or something. Okay, so they are maintaining their database in the Excel format. Okay, so every day evening, okay, they will share it with you through the Excel data only because they don't know the server or something. So straight away they will share their data through the Excel format to the MD. So every day you will receive the all the branches Excel file, but how exactly you will load your Excel files into the database? That is the important thing. Like for example, I have a like a one Excel file. If I want to load my Excel file into the SQL server, you have to follow the one procedure. Like just right click on your database and go to the task option and click on the import data. Clear,
Yeah.
Banu?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Just click on the import data. See, let me show you the my data file. Later we will do the procedure. Okay, see here. Mm. See, this is my data file I received from the one branch. So I'm going to load this data into the my SQL server. Okay, so what type of data file it is? Like it is like a Excel data file. Please remember this point. Okay. Now come to the SQL server. Sorry. Okay. So come to the Excel file. Now right click on your database and go to the task option. Click on the import data. Now click on the next option. See, here you have to define your data source. What is your data source? My data source, already I shown you, my data source is like a Excel data source. Just click on the drop down list option. Click on your data source type. Okay, just click on the Excel file. For example, sometimes might be you will receive your data from the SQL server also. So but one of the branch, okay, uh, head is maintaining the SQL server, so they will share it with you SQL server data also. You can able to import from one server to another server also. Okay, but right now I am going to tell you that like how to import data from the Excel file. Just click on the Excel and just browse your Excel file where exactly it is located. Just browse it and click on the next option. So far it's clear, Banu.
Yes, it is clear.
Then click on the next. See, so far you define your data source, but where exactly you are going to be stored in your Excel file? I am going to store my Excel file in our SQL server. Just select your destination. My destination is SQL server. And if you want, you can able to select your database
Yeah.
name here. Like my database name is Bono. I'm going to store my SQL server, sorry, Excel file into the Bono database. Then click on the next. So in real time now, so you have to use the credentials also. But right now this is my like a my personal laptop. So in real time you have to select the second radio button, server authentication, username and password you have to provide it. Then you have to click on the next option. But this is like a my personal laptop, so that's why I'm using Windows authentication. Then click on the OK. See, in my Excel file, these are all the my sheet names like order table, people table, sorry, people table and a return table. Only three tables I am going to be load. So remaining tables are like a system generated tables. So actually these tables are not available in my Excel file, but it's like a system generated. Now click on the next option. Then click on the next. Click on the finish. See, now SQL Server is trying to fetch the records from the Excel file and it is trying to load into the SQL Server. So successfully it's loaded like a from the first table like a order table 10,000 records are transferred and people table 4 records are transferred, return table 8 records are transferred. Then click on the close option. Now just to check in your database, refresh it and check it. See here, only three tables are loaded. This is the way you have to load the records from the other files. Clear, one?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Now check the table after loading your tables. Okay, you have to check whether those tables are loaded successfully with the required format or not. You have to check it. Just to drag and drop the tables names here. and execute the query. See here, row ID integer, order ID like it is the string, order date it's like a date field, it's loaded successfully, ship date. Okay, and everything if it is fine, then you can able to keep it as it is. So if the format or something, then you have to reload the tables again. Okay, again check with the people table, then execute it. See, it's also loaded. So this is the way you have to load the records from the Excel file or anything. Okay. Now, so far I have written the some queries like a insert into or select star from, okay, like a create a database. So how exactly I have written? So I know the some basics. Okay, I'm not a uh, hands-on experience, but I know the some familiarity. So that's why I am writing the queries here. But if you want to write or if you want to read this data, okay, so how exactly you will write the queries? First of all, you need to understand these classes, like what is the select, what is from. So in the select class, why do we need to mention the star? So in the from class, why do we need to mention the like a table name? So everything we need to understand first of all. Let me explain with you. Okay, so basically six types of classes we have. One is select class. So basically in the select class we can able to mention the list of the field names or column names. List of the field names. In the from class you can able to mention the like a list of the table names. List of the table names. So in the where condition you can able to define your filter details. Okay, so filter details in the sense like, so we will explain you later. So if you want to filter data, data on top of non-aggregated fields, then we will use where condition. Later I will explain you the group by class. See, having class also same thing. Okay, to filter your records we can able to use the having class. Okay, so but if you want to filter the data on top of the aggregated fields, okay, then we will use the having class. So where class, just we will filter the records on top of the non-aggregated field. But if you want to filter the records on top of the aggregated field, then we have to use the having class. Then next one is order by. So if you want to sort the records, just it will sort the records. Okay, just it will sort it. It won't do anything like ascending order or descending order, just it will give. Okay, so these are all the six classes. But what about the group by? See, if you want to write the some calculations, okay, if you want to write some calculations in select class, see in the select class what we have to mention, list of the field names. Okay, so instead of field names, if you mention the some calculation in the select class, okay, you have to define group by. Okay? You have to define the group by class, how to aggregate the query. Okay, so it's very important. So these classes are very important. Now let me show you one by one. Select class. So already you know, right? So in the select class, just you can able to mention the field names. Okay, like for example, um, okay, select star from my table name like a other table. Just execute the query. See, totally 10,194 records are loaded, and you can able to see the multiple columns here. So because I mentioned the star, star is indicating all the columns from the order table. Okay, I am not specifying any one of the single column. So star is indicating all the columns from this table. Okay, so in the select class, just you can able to mention the list of the field names. If you don't want to mention the list of the field names, just mention the star. So star is indicating all the fields from the
Okay.
required table. So in the from class, just you can able to mention the table names. Just you can able to mention table name. Okay, now here I can able to see the 10,194 records. Out of 10,900, sorry, let me include one or two fields in the select class. Okay, I will remove the star and I will keep it like a order ID. Order ID. Order ID is my one of the field, and second field is sales. Okay, only I am going to be load two fields. Earlier it was like star, like all the columns, but now I wantedly mentioned like a order ID and sales. Now you can able to see the output only with two columns records. Now out of these 10,190 records, I need only one order ID information. Just take this order ID, and if you want to filter the records, okay, we have to use the where class. So what is the use of the where class? Just you can able to filter the data on top of the non-aggregated fields. Okay, see, I am going to filter the records. Where order ID, my field name is order ID. My order ID is, this is my order ID. Just to take it. Now we execute the query. See, okay. Earlier it was like a 10,000 records. Now I can able to see the only one order ID can able to see in my output. So this is the way you can able to filter your records. Okay, clear, Banu?
It, I have one thought, like why we are writing order ID in brackets and why not the sales?
If you want, you can able to mention sales also. You can able to mention it. Let me show you that.
Okay, it is not a mandatory to do in the square brackets.
So that's why I told you in where class. Okay, you can able to filter on top of only non-aggregated
Okay,
fields.
okay. Yep.
Okay,
Yeah, like
but
not on that one. I'm just asking like and then the syntax why we have included the square brackets for only order ID attribute.
okay. See, basically order ID contains the two words. Order is one word, ID is one word.
Okay.
Okay,
Oh, okay,
so
okay, got it.
system doesn't understand order ID. Might be it is two columns or one column. So wantedly we are saying like, so don't take it as a two columns. It both words are single column. Like a order space ID is single column. Okay,
Okay, okay.
okay, clear. Uh,
Yeah,
Bhanu? Okay, so
yeah,
now
yeah.
if you want to take the sales filter also, yes, you can able to take it. Like a sales is like a 16.448. Just execute the query. Okay, so if the sales having 16 rupees point 448, so then it will show you the records. So sales also
Yeah, I have
like
one more.
mm, mm.
Yeah, I have one more question. Like, is a like oh, in the sales, is it taking as a string or as an integer? Like, why we are taking the table, the sales was an integer, right?
No, yes, it is like a integer, but wantedly. So if you want, you can able to remove it. Okay, so nothing is
Okay.
there.
Like it
See
is
here.
taken like both is considered as a both as an
Mm,
integer or
mm,
it
mm,
is like you
mm,
can make it as string. Got it.
okay. See now, but actually we know we are a developer, so we know sales is a measure. Okay, but I am not writing any aggregated function. But now, right now I am taking sales as a like a my non-aggregated field. But we know sales is a aggregated fields, right?
Yeah.
Sales is a aggregated field and order is like a dimension. Okay, sales is a my measure. But you can able to write it down in the where class, but we are not writing any aggregated function, so that's why I have written the sales as a like a non-aggregated field. So basically we won't write the sales related things in the where class. Okay,
Okay. Got it.
clear? Now we execute the query and take other IDs like oh, just to take this order ID. With single order ID, I have a three multiple values like a multiple sales values. So for the same order ID, one person has purchased one item like a 3 rupees. For the same order ID, there is the one more brand product is there like 11 rupees. Third product is like a 272 rupees. So these are all the like my individual records. Okay, so these are all my individual records. So basically in real time, okay, most of the times we will analyze the records by aggregated values. Okay, we want to see the individual records. Sometimes only we will see the individual records. Most of the times, like a 99.9% of the times, we will use the aggregated values. So now I want to see what is my aggregated sales for the particular order ID. What is my total sales? How exactly we will see? Just you can able to sum up your sales records, right? Just use the sum function on top of the sales. Okay, clear, Banu?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, but when you use the aggregated columns or when you use the calculated fields in the select class, so you have to define the group by function. Please look over here. So if you
Okay.
want to write some calculation in select class or if you want to use some aggregated function, so then you have to define the group by function. How exactly system or how exactly query has to be aggregated. Okay, so the query has to be aggregated based on my order ID wise. Okay, then you have to define your group by class, group by of my order ID. Now execute the query. See, it is the aggregated result. Clear, Banu?
Yes.
Okay. Now, so like for example, let me remove this where condition. Okay, right now it's showing only one record. Okay. So when you execute this query, see here. So it is also like a aggregated result. Okay. So like for example, if I remove this sum of the sales and if I remove the group by class, okay, if I execute the query, it will show you the like a individual records. How many records are they totally? See here,
10,000.
10,194. Okay, when you apply the sum function, okay, and you have to specify the group by. Okay, so the record should showcase by the group by of the order by. Okay, if any order ID having multiple sales, then it will sum up the records. Just execute the query. Here totally how many records are there? Totally 5,111 records. Clear, Banu?
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay, now this is the way you can able to use the group by class and you can able to use the calculated fields or aggregated fields in the select class. See, but in the output, order ID field name is there, but in the second column, there is no column name, just it mention it. So you can able to mention the column name like a sales. Okay. If you want to put the alias name, just put the space and put the name, then execute the query. Okay, mention the name of the clear. Now,
Yeah.
now look over here. So order ID wise sales you can able to see here, but customer will ask you the some like a multiple questions. So Banu, I don't want to see all the records. I want to see only order IDs, okay, which are contributing more than 5,000 rupees sales. Okay, I want to showcase or I want to display the only if the sales is contributing more than 5,000 rupees. Now, customer is asking like a aggregated result filter. Okay, so if the sales contribution is more than 10,000, then display the record, otherwise don't display it. Okay, so like just to mention the having class here, having of sum of sales is greater than 5,000, then execute the query and display the records. See here, only 28 records are displaying here. If you want to showcase like a more than 10,000, then execute the query. Only 6 records are available in the output. Okay, see, where class and having class. So the both classes you can able to use to filter the records, but where class you can able to filter non-aggregated field, and having class you can able to filter it only aggregated fields. Clear, Banu?
Yes. Okay.
Okay. The next one is order by. See, basically in the output you can able to see first record is 10,000, second one is 23,000, third one is like a 18,000, fourth one is like a 13, and so there is like a there is no order here. Okay, if you want to sort the records like a ascending order, descending order, like a small to highest value, highest to lowest value, you can able to sort it. So to sort the record, just you have to use like a order by class. Now order by of sum of the sales. I am not mentioning any specifications like a ascending or descending. If you are not specify anything, just it will give the like a ascending order, like a lowest to highest value. If you want to specify the like a wantedly like a descending order, just specify it like highest value to lowest value. Okay, or if you want to specify anything like a ascending, just mention the ASC. Clear, Banu?
Yeah. Yeah. Clear.
Okay, any questions so far?
Can I in the syntax like which comes we need to use the first is the same like a six like
No,
in the
no, I
syntax
didn't
like
get
which
you.
gonna become first like oh in the syntax oh which gonna become first like select gonna come first or like order by gonna come at the first
No,
in the
no, no.
writing the
See,
syntax when you're
basically,
writing it yeah
this is the
oh
order. This is the order.
this is
This
the
is the order.
okay
Okay.
okay
Okay. So select class is the first.
okay
Second one is the from. Next, okay, where class. And sometimes without where class also you can able to write it down the group by class. Okay, but if you
okay
want to specify the where class, okay, so third option is the where class position, and after group by class only we can able to specify the having class. Finally we can able to use the order by class. Okay, this is the
oh,
order.
okay
Okay,
okay okay
and
like
once we understand, okay, yes, yes, tell me.
we can use a where class after group by
No, 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 no,
like
you can't able to
no
use.
no okay
Okay, only uh, s- so that's why I have written the same procedure. Okay.
okay that's good yeah
Okay. So, so far we have written the queries on top of the single table, right? Just I have mentioned the single table, but I have write the multiple queries like a group by class, sum of the class, so like a calculated fields, having class or order by anything. But if you want to write the multiple table queries, okay, then you need to understand the joins concept. Okay, so basically joins are four types. Joins. Okay, so inner join, left join, right join, full outer join. Okay, so totally we have a four types of joins. So tomorrow we will discuss about these things. Okay.
Okay, okay, okay.
Okay, Banu. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Nathan, like, can I know like how many days is was the course?